Ken is in Legon. Michael is all the way in Tumu. Na is from Abokobi. Good evening, Na. Sector is in Spintex. Adamu is in Nima. Misicho Ohene, you're listening. Mauli Heto, you're also listening. Charles Mausi, Eugenia Sintimedi, Kwame Adom, you're all present. And somewhere in quarantine is my lovely wife. Lovely quarantine, but bored out of hell. But a nice quarantine. Joseph Kwashi in Westland, Luther in Tema, Elizabeth in Adrigano, Promise from Pantine, Efo Mauli from La Paz, hello Larry in Adrigano, I see you. Teresa, I see you in Tama, Charles in Kumin Kaswa, Salom in Dowenya. Well, you know it. Folks, you know it. Yogi, as usual, Kofi Mensah in Osu. Thank you all for joining in. But you know it, folks. Until the Lions have their own historian, the tales of hunting will always glorify the hunter.
I traveled to Paris on a diplomatic train.
Apologies for the little hiccup, but you know I'll say that again. Well, folks, I said until the Lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. Another blessed Monday in spite of the obvious. But hey, here we are to perform our beautiful ritual. I am Nana Ansah Kwao the Fourth, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwamu Edubasa. Welcome to the show I call That's My Opinion. Folks, as I always say, it takes maturity of a media house to understand and allow such a show on its platform. Happy 25th to this great, great media house. We thank them a lot. Our topic today, folks, the other corona victim. The other corona victim. Folks, from the very beginning, I have been quite worried with how some media persons and media houses have been reporting on the COVID-19. There is an underlay of fear, if that's not an understatement, of panic, and of stigmatization. Folks, the way we have been reporting on COVID-19 and coronavirus, if I'm not afraid, I'll say there's been too much underlay of fear, of panic, and of stigmatization. In fact, initially it was as though we wanted it here so that we can, do our usual, sensational reporting. It was as though, folks, you will hear, oh my God, 2 people have gotten it. Oh, now we are 21, all hell breaks loose. 21 people have now gotten it. Folks, I got a call from a medical practitioner that a very renowned radio station here in Accra, on a family show, prime time, one of the guests on the show, or whether the presenter, somebody said, one authority that if you get corona, 90% you are dead. Look at the clout of the station, look at the information coming out. There are people who just think, oh my God, this is it. 90% you are dead. Folks, today the show is quite delicate, and I will be right on the borderline. So, I want you to pay attention, otherwise, you may get me wrong. But let me put it on record that we should do everything possible to stop the spread of this virus here in Ghana. Everything. And so I commend authorities, the nation, everyone who's putting in anything to make sure that it doesn't happen. I commend them. However, folks, the way we are reporting the issue, we may be causing a negative selfishness, if there's such a thing. Folks, as far as the corona is concerned, per the medical experts, it's the least of all killers. Currently, about 4% fatalities, which means 97 to 96% get well. Even though one death, folks, is one death too many. Even though one death is one death too many. But now, folks, we have even made, quarantine seem as if that if somebody gets quarantined, it's an abomination. It's as though you are an ex-convict. It's as though you are doomed. So people who could have willingly, given themselves up to be secluded, now think, no, I can't be charged with being quarantined because of how we're reporting it. Meanwhile, this is something we have done all through our lives. When you get measles, when you get chicken pox, sometimes even when you get the flu, you are pushed to the far end of the bed so you don't infect your partner with the flu. We have one way or the other kept ourselves away to protect others from catching whatever it is that we have gotten. So let us be measured with our report. Folks, if we in the media create fear of death, what then happens is that people start thinking of themselves only, which they should. After all, we all should look after ourselves. But folks, with corona, you and I are the other victims. Folks, with corona, you and I are the other victims. So the issue is not just saving yourself, but to save everyone and the country. So yes, we should keep safe so as to free up the hospitals for serious cases like maternity and other emergencies. We must keep safe to make sure our hospitals are free for when women are coming to give birth, for when there are serious emergencies, the hospitals are not clogged up. Folks, again, those we rely on to supply us with medical equipment are now struggling. They themselves need it. They cannot get it, which means they won't give us some. And so we need to keep ourselves safe so that we don't put pressure on the medical staff. Folks, we need to keep ourselves clean and safe so we can send our children back to school. We should keep safe so that the issue or the idea of a lockdown will be prevented. Folks, the message here, if you get me, is all for one and one for all. And that has not been our culture in the modern times. But the quicker we bring it back, the quicker we shall eradicate this virus. All for one and one for all. Because if you think it's just about me, then I am fine. So I will step out at the beach to go and chill. But guess what? Without a fever, without a cold, without shortness of breath, you are the other corona victim, buying things at exorbitant prices. Maybe even stuck in his hotel room somewhere. But even these are the lucky ones. Folks, at the moment, if you are an event planner, I can bet that by the time a corona victim recovers and go home, your business may be on its knees. And if you are an event planner who's taking a business loan to bump up your business, how are you going to service this loan? With a ban on social gathering. If event planners are not working, then caterers, those who supply drinks, may be in the same boat. If you are not organizing events, no one is eating. If no one is eating, no one is drinking. They are in the same boat. Which means tailors and seamsters will be close by. Who is sewing what and to what event? Folks, this is serious. All these people have people working for them. As for hotels and car rentals, well, some hotels per current arrangements will be lucky. But car rentals will be crippled. Which means the drivers who would normally be driving these cars up and down, they are now corona victims. So I want to remove the fear of dying from you. But rather, I want to put the caution of all of us suffering with the disease or not, because the economic implications or repercussions will be far worse than the disease itself. So yes, keep your distance. Stay at home if you don't need to go out. Wash your hands. Sanitize as often as possible. Sometimes when we live in Accra, we talk about, sanitizer. Baby, they don't even know what a sanitizer is, let alone even be able to afford it. But hey, we are all in the same boat. Let's just keep clean. Because folks, we do not want this thing to drag on. This stay home, don't go here, don't move here. We don't want it to drag on. You see, in the best of times in Ghana, 30% of the population carries along 70%. 30% facts will be taxed till thy kingdom come. Those who are official and unofficial, Uncle Mami Bibi, Uncle give me this, Uncle give me, about 30% carrying along about 70%. So if it so happens that the 30% start saying that we don't know what lies ahead, and that they're going to keep whatever it is they have for themselves and their families, that is what I am really, really afraid of. Folks, that is what I am really afraid of. When uncertainty kicks in and that deluxe 30% decide that, something, I'm going to backtrack. That is what I'm really afraid of. Folks, as at now, the number of jobs at stake is just too much. What is pretty much a great number of the service industry are literally on their knees. And I'm wondering, are there any plans in place to mitigate this? Folks, are there any plans to mitigate this? How are these job owners going to keep their workers when nobody's patronizing them? People who rent chairs and canopies and those who rent cutleries and stuff, who's going to rent it? How do you keep your workers and how do you pay them? How do you pay them? this is the reality. These people, they are very healthy. They don't have any corona. But Joe, they are the other corona victims. So, well, folks, you know what? Maybe it's time we make agric sexy. We've talked and talked and talked about it. Maybe this is our call to really make agric sexy, because food can really rule the world. And we should start maybe like yesterday. Go back to what our advantage is immediately. Folks, you don't want to be the other victim. Sitting at home thinking about the 21 who have really got infected. My friend, we are all in it. We are all in it. Let's keep our distance. Let's keep clean, because the virus survival after getting it may be high. 90, whatever it is, percent. But the economic repercussions, the survival will be very low. Those who are living hand to mouth, selling PK on the road and selling handkerchiefs by the side of the road to get by. Today I was driving and it was like a mini ghost town. Yes, I don't agree for people to stand by the roadside and hawk. I believe people should have a skill and get off the road and go and live on their skills. But we haven't done that yet. And they are all there in their thousands. And I am saying, if this partial lockdown drags on, look, man must survive. And you must ask yourself, how will they survive when they have no skill? And yet they don't want to live and die. Most of them will turn to crime. Most of them will turn to crime. And again, you will be there sanitizing your hands and keeping clean, but you still not be safe. It is important that we abide by everything, every education going. Let us all hands on deck. Stop this deaf thing. Stop this stigmatization thing. Let us all be in it to eradicate it, so we have our happy home Ghana. And you cry, we don't want this thing here. Let's get it out. Because at the moment, we are all victims. Folks, we are all victims. And I believe if we send this message out to say, it's not that the disease itself is going to kill you, but the chaos that it brings will affect us all. Hospitals will be choked. People will lose their jobs. Your children will be sent from school back home. Nobody's going to come to the market to buy. So it's not a matter of stigmatization, but rather let us all get on board for the good of all of us. Let us all get on board for the good of all of us. It is not about death. It is not about embarrassment. It is not a shame. It is one other bag that has come to the world like tens of other bags that came to the world. Compare this to Ebola. This is a kindergarten kid in terms of survival. However, folks, let us keep this social distance. Wash our hands. Don't touch your face. Sanitize if you have it. Wash your hands again and keep washing it. And stay away and let this virus die a natural death, so we can go back to living our normal lives. Because the economic repercussions, folks, the survival rate of that will be too harsh for us to bear. So 020302 216 541. Okay, who's going to be my first caller?
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a program going on there, but I called to get a number to DSTV.
Okay, call again and we'll get it for you. 0302216541. Hello, who's calling?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
I guess you say
I greet you, Derek.
the issue is Ghanaians. We have a problem. I think we are more interested in celebrating the unfortunate than hammering on the positive side. I mean, that's what is killing us. And it's about time we see ourselves as one people and then not celebrating somebody's defeat or somebody dying. Because it's not going to benefit anybody. We are all in need, and it's better we pray to survive together. And I thank God for this. It will come to pass.
Amen, amen, amen. Nana, have you thought about it? You are on self-quarantine and water doesn't flow through your taps. What else can you do than come out and look for that commodity? We need a multi-sectorial approach to this than just resting it on the shoulder of the health ministry and its workers. But who's on the phone? Hello.
This is your boy. I just come tonight, Tama.
Let me hear you, Babod.
Good evening, and thank you for good program. I think Ghanaians, you are not ready to take a shutdown. I believe the way this issue has been managed, facing distance, gathering, washing of hands, I mean, I think it is helping us. So far, those people infected are those people who brought it and their contacts. So I think, I mean, as time goes on, we can manage it, I mean, in a way that we can help the spread. Because shut down, if you shut down for about a month, then we see what we are going to eat. God bless you, Nana.
God bless you too. Nana, you have hit the nail on the head. If we can't stop the politicking and get on with the collective effort to rid ourselves of COVID-19, all for one and one for all. Kofi Mensah Inosu. Kofi, good evening. And yep, I believe strongly that it's all for one and it's one for all. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, how are you?
I'm very well.
Well, I'm surprised that people are blaming Ghanaians. I mean, I don't know why I should blame Ghanaians. It's the leadership. It's not Ghanaians. We've done nothing. We are just here. You know, sanitizers are in short supply. It's economic. Once there's demand for a good, and the good is not there, people will raise the price. This is simple logic. So don't blame Ghanaians for anything. Blame the leadership. Why can't we produce these sanitizers here long ago? Why do we keep importing everything? You know, and with this coronavirus, it's actually exposing African leaders because they don't have foresight. Now, if there's total lockdown elsewhere in the world, can you imagine what will happen in about 6 months' time? Africans will struggle to eat. You will not get food to eat. We are not thinking about these. You know, people are going to be locked down. Elsewhere, Italy, they are feeding the people. In Ghana, you ask people to go home. If people go home, are you going to feed them? So they look at the amount of money people are going to lose in the various markets. You can do this fumigation or disinfection in the night. People just close things. Our leaders are the cause of our problems, and they don't even think of natural disasters. There will be natural disasters. It's even the Bible. Prophet Isaiah said it. So if you're a Christian, prayers alone cannot help you. You have to work. If you don't work, you're only calling on God. When the president came back from Norway, when the TV happened, he was in Norway. I was even surprised. When he came back, he said, we thank God that natural disasters have happened and that Ghana is safe. And we are thanking God. Then he banned social gatherings only to call the clergy, the reverends, and then they are going to be praying. Instead of holding meetings, people are doing trials, medicine trials elsewhere in the world. Our doctors, our professors, what are they doing? They take risk allowance. Why are they taking risk allowance? This is the time for them to work. So please, nobody should blame Ghanaians. We've done nothing.
Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Great. I hope the little republic, your little republic is doing well.
We are hanging in there.
Looking at what is happening, and I don't know if you also shut down, your markets and all that. But this thing that is going on, we need to get some cool heads. By the way, my name is Kofi, and I'm calling from Tesano.
Thank you.
Nana, look, there is a lot of hysteria. Even though there is good information, there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of anxiety and all that. People should go back and look at the influenza of 1918, and some call it, or it's called the Spanish influenza. It killed about almost 100 million people of the world population. That's about one fifth of the world's population at that time. Even in Ghana, from the north to Accra, those times was the colonial time. It killed about 20 to 50,000. I'm not sure of the numbers, but a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Okay, so influenza or flu in relation to coronavirus are similar. There are only two things that are unique. One is coronavirus spread faster. The virus can last a little longer, droplets on tables or whatsoever. That is one unique thing, okay? The second one is that you get respiratory problems. Other than that, the sneezing and the coughing, if I coughed last year, you wouldn't have worried. Nobody would have worried if I coughed 2018 or 2019. Now, people cough at church is a problem. The hype from CNN and the media and everywhere else is just hyping everything. We just need to also be cautious and have sanitizers and all that. The conspiracy about whatever, could be true or false. Nonetheless, the virus is around. Now, when people talk about shutdowns and all that, shutdowns are great. It's good to help. In our situation here, your village, Agbobushi, Kaneshie and all that, our transportation system, look at how they sprayed places, they sprayed buses. You shut down what? How do people move from Kaswa to Accra or East Legon and all that? They only have, even their frontline workers, the nurses, take trotro. How do they get work? So we need to, this disease is not so crazy and deadly as we think. It just spreads fast. If you are protecting yourself, you're not going to die. Your immune system is okay. You eat vegetables, you do what you have to do, sanitize your hands, you'll be fine. It is a lot of hype globally that is causing this, and earlier precautions that should have been done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, my name is Nana. I'm calling from Kumwa, Assam.
Let me hear you.
Nana, you see, sometimes I think we copy blindly in this country.
Mm.
We tend to know everything, but nothing. See, the countries that are shutting down the shops and all those things, those countries, those shops are insured. And in times like this, where we call them probably the act of God, the insurance compensates them for the number of days or the sales that they lose. Do we have the same in this country? You tell somebody to stop selling at Agbobushi without thinking of or making any alternative arrangement for how he or she will be earning his daily bread. How do you expect such a person to survive? We are not saying that it is not right to shut down the place and have the place fumigated. But what was the contingency plan put in place to do that? Remember, sometimes in this country, we think the leaders are all bogus. They are all porous. We are wasting money, taxpayers' money on them for nothing. They don't think out of the box. Why are we doing all these things because of so-called $100 million that we want to go and take? What are we doing? As a country, are we telling our people that we cannot think out of the box? Do we have to shut down the country like this without any contingency plan? It's a pity, man.
Well, how then do you manage the social distancing, my brother? How do we manage it? It's tough. It's really, really tough for us. That's why I'm saying that the other coronavirus, the other victims of coronavirus, not the guy who's got the respiratory symptoms, but the guy who couldn't go to the market, the guy whose children has been sent home, the guy who's losing his job. Hello, who's on the phone? 0302216541. Hello, who's on the phone?
Hello, Nana, good evening. This is Maxwell.
Maxwell, let me hear you.
Nana, whether we like it or yes, as someone used to say, whether we like it or yes, the virus is here. So what do? You protect yourself
at all cost. At all cost.
Yeah, it's just protecting yourself. At the end of the day, if you can't fight it, if you can't cure it, you prevent it. So just make sure you protect yourself. Those that are saying leaders are these, leaders are these. When you go to our various homes, we have leaders in the house, but there are still problems in the house, in our homes. Or don't we have, Nana? Yeah. So what we should do, or what we must do, is just go by what they tell us. Those who knows properly than us. So we just have to protect ourselves. That's all.
Thank you very much. That's the name of the game. Protection. Hello, who's on the line?
Yes, hello. This is Victor.
Victor.
Yes, I'm calling from Teshi.
Good. Let me hear you.
Okay. I think we need to do more when it comes to disseminating information to Ghanaians. Today, can you imagine shops around our homes are even locked up? I mean, you walk distance to just find something to buy from a common shop. So getting the information to Ghanaians is a problem. We give information and we give half information. These exercise that took place today is supposed to be in the major market. But can you imagine everybody has shut down shops? And you are like, are we really listening to the information first? Look at Nigeria. The menace got there before it got to us. And they are managing it so well that it's not increasing like ours here. I don't know whether it's the education we need or we lack. I don't know. This thing is I don't know, the fear factor that people are putting into this whole thing. The fear factor is too much. I'm not saying the virus is not deadly. I'm not saying the virus is not something to be taken serious.
Now we're blowing out of proportion.
We just need some precautions. But the fear factor should be taken out of this advert. It's too bad.
Thank you very much. 0302216541. Hello, who's on the line?
Hello, Nana. This is Confidence on the line, calling from Kumasi.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Nana, this issue is a serious issue. It looks like maybe all of us have different understanding. Yesterday, the World Health Organization published a report about the possibility of the coronavirus hanging in the air, air droplets hanging in the air for about 8 hours. Now, I work in Kumasi. You come to a doom, nobody is protected. We are just walking, we are moving and all that. If one person has it, you can tell that by the time the day comes to a close, over 200 people would have taken this disease from this person. How do we contain this? We don't go on lockdown. The Italians are there, no other countries that are here to feel the impact of it, that the only way is to shut down. Stay in your rooms. Unfortunately for us, our systems are not planned
We cannot even tell house numbers. Our streets are not labeled. So when people are in their rooms, who gets them water? Even how to find the place and give the water is a problem. But the only price we have to pay now is to shut down. I believe strongly because even the developed countries cannot withstand this disease. With all their certification, all their hospitals, all the facilities, they are unable to withstand this disease. Not to talk about Ghana. Go to Konfanoche. People with malaria will have to be in a queue from morning 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. before they see a doctor. Malaria, just common malaria. And we are talking about this. Nana, God help us.
God help us. 0302216541. Susan Edua Mankwa, influenza killed 50 million and not 100 million. 50 million and not 100 million. Hello, who's on the phone?
Yeah, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
There is Jerry on the line.
Jerry, let me hear you.
I have some baffling issues concerning this crisis we are facing all over the world. But to be precise, I wonder, the way we speculate information concerning this thing is what is even killing we Ghanaians than we can imagine. Nana, I can bet you that there are a couple of people who have been quarantined that, frankly, looking at, they are not supposed to be quarantined because they are not really affected by that virus. Again, prevention is better than cure. And this is what I will put on the platform, that we should start washing our hands regular and do that. Because this disease cannot survive in Ghana and in Africa for that long. We cannot cure it in Ghana because our leaders are not visionaries and they cannot help us. But when we prevent it, it's you and I. We should love ourselves, we should come together and do the right thing. Than trying to stay away from each other will not solve the condition. That would be the worst point for us. Nana, I don't have much to say, but I'll call you privately. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At 0302216541, it's all for one for all. No one is going to die. Let's take away the fear. Let's take away the stigma. It's as though, no, Joe, but let's just look at the inconveniences with regards to work and daily survival. Hello, who's talking to me?
This famous from Accra.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Please, thank you for the opportunity. I think the way people are making noise over there, I think government is doing the right thing, and South Africa is right now deploying a military to make sure that the people observe the directive. I think Ghana is to begin to deploy the military. If you allow this directive to the Ghanaians to observe, I don't think they will do it. So the military has to be released for people to observe it. And this virus is very scary. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I talking to, please?
This is your only Mike from Go.
Let me hear you.
And I have 3 questions.
Hey.
Number 1. How many people died in a road accident on the Takoradi Road, I think months ago?
I don't have that number, but quite a number of it.
Okay.
Well, I know we are over 400. We've crossed 400 now.
Okay.
From
people died
December.
Of corona. So. 1
so far. That's what we hear, and even that they're saying that the guy already had pneumonia, so they think the pneumonia killed him before the corona.
My last question: which of these circumstances needed $100 million?
It's a tough question. They both need 100 million. They both needed 100 million, because we need to stop this corona thing, to stop the economic repercussions. But in terms of us dying too, we needed to stop it. So it's a big one. But yes, they both need 100 million.
And I leave it to our own judgment.
Let's leave it to our judgment. But they both needed 100 million to mitigate it, because it's a living dead thing with us. 0302216541, and I'm looking at the other corona victim, which is you and I, who are suffering, even though we are breathing fine and not coughing. Hello, who's talking?
Hello?
Hi, who's talking to me?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Mr. Agbali.
Mr. Agbali, let me hear you.
Yeah, I think we are all...
lower your radio. Lower your radio, please.
Hello?
Yeah, lower your radio set for me. Your radio set or TV, whatever medium you're using it.
Alaji. Speaking from Alaji.
Okay, 0302216541. Hello, who's on the line?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, great job done.
Great.
It's quite surprising the way people are talking as if the coronavirus disease is just a mere disease. Globally, everybody knows about the impact. If we want to claim we do not know what is happening in Italy, we do not know what is happening in even almighty California, the most influential state in U.S. There are advanced nations whose systems have been overwhelmed. What are the structures we have in these nations? And they are talking about the only way in which this issue could be solved. If it is not even total shutdown, it should be partial. Because as of now, we've heard that the transmission has assumed a horizontal status, meaning people can easily transmit it to others within our nation. Ghana here, you need not come from outside before you can come out with the virus. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now, the only thing we can do now in order to forestall any unforeseen occurrences now is to at least come up with policies that can help us embark on a kind of partial shutdown, if not total. Do we want to sit down? If the explosion, this is going to be very exponential. We heard that when it happened in Italy, it was about 1 or 2 reported cases. And in a matter of only 8 days, it assumed a very alarming proportion. So people should stop talking about the fact that this is being hyped. It's a very deadly situation they are faced with now. Anything that must be done in order to support the government of the day to be able to structure policies that can help us contain the issue must be talked about. But we must stop rubbishing it as if it is not a deadly situation we are faced with. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We should hype the prevention, but I think we should not tell people it's deadly, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. I think that's a negative way of educating people with regards to this virus. The implications are dire, but not necessarily that you're going to kill you. By all means, you're guaranteed dead. I think that's a negative piece of information to give people. Let people know that's not that you're going to die, but listen, your country could be crippled. And that, for that reason, it's one for all and all for one. Hello, who am I talking to?
Hi, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Ciao. Well, this is a crisis. This is an epidemic that has hit the nation, and we are all talking about it. And I find it necessary to also speak my mind on it. You see, it baffles my mind sometimes when these politicians, so-called politicians, crazy politicians, brought us problems like this that they can't not solve, and now they have to rely on us. You see, it surprised me that at the time that other countries were suffering out of this epidemic, our president is out there visiting those affected countries. You understand? And now, instead of the whole leadership of this nation to sit down and think of this, putting measures in place, solving this problem, or we not recording even one case. Now, this is what is in our hands. But I thank God that in the knowledge of the president now knows what to do. Earlier on, I think that he have that kind of minds of traveling. That is why. But now I thank God that he now knows that he is now governing a nation, not MPP party. You understand?
Let's talk Corona. I think you're making it too political. This is not what I want on the show. I'm just saying that, look, it's one for all and it's all for one. Look, what we need to do, we need to all get together, get this thing rid of so we get our country back. all I'm urging myself, media houses and media people is that let's just stop putting fear into people that the disease is going to kill you like it's Ebola, or like if you get it you are ashamed or you are an outcast. If you say that, then what happens is that if I get the corona, I am scared to come and tell people that I have it because I think that I'm a shame or I'm a disgrace, and so I hide it, or I run away, and then I cause more problems. But if you let people know, it's like malaria, menya typhoid, I'm just going to get myself checked. If people are free to be able to submit themselves to quarantine, to checks and everything, then it's easier to get rid of it. But if we are telling people it's a deadly this, a deadly that, a deadly this, and this, what then happens is when somebody has a headache or coughing and can't even breathe, Joe, he or she doesn't want to be ashamed, he doesn't want to be locked up, and so they run away and then go and cause problems. So that's all I'm trying to say. That the problem itself, and look, worldwide, 96, 97% recover. The chances are, if you are very, very fit, you probably even get it and not even know you have it. The chances are. That's how it is. You see? So all I'm saying is that, but let us all abide with this social spacing and the cleanliness and the hygiene and the cleanliness. Let's all abide by it so we rid this disease so that we can get our country back. And not that we baby watching. No. But you wouldn't get a job to go to, you wouldn't get a school to go to. That's the problem. Hello, who's talking to me? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Nana, why do people take advantage of issues like this? Let me start with it. The people who are being quarantined are being quarantined in hotels, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have a 650-bed hospital that is lying there close to Noguchi.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we going to pay $500 a room in a hotel?
Well, that's the different angle. That's a different angle to it. Today, I don't want to shift that. I don't want to go that blame game thing. That's a whole different angle you're raising. It's very legitimate, but I don't want to go there today because today I want us to rally and take the fear out of somebody listening to me to know. Say, look, should I even contract this thing tomorrow? 97% chances I will live through it. However, the problem is that you are not allowed to work, you're not allowed to buy. Look, my wife has just sent me a WhatsApp message from her quarantine room. My wife is in quarantine, and she sent me a message. She said, do you remember how we started broadcasting this when AIDS came? Right? We were this, had images of skeletons and images of death and and so it became such a thing that people who had it literally did not want to come out. But today somebody has HIV, it's not as bad as it was before HIV. Well, so what? I know a couple of people with HIV, so what? Some of them have even gone through some treatments and you can't even trace the HIV anymore. So, we in the media owe it to our nation that responsibility to tone down the fear, the panic, the stigmatization, and we have to tone it down. It makes it easier to get it off. Makes it so much easier to get rid of it.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Who's on the phone?
Yeah, Nana.
Mm-hmm.
This is Yao from Committee.
Yeah, let me hear you.
Nana, two quick ones, maybe three. One, I think we should begin to, to call it, to make it a bit selective as to who can just sit behind the console and talk about these issues. In that way, we'll be able to be toning down the, the deaf issues associated as we are talking about. And then Additionally, you see, now people are also have gone this way because the point is that if we are having more cases with our limited resources, what happened? Because this we've all diagnosed. This thing doesn't kill. The rate of killing or death is not as exponential as it will be compared to others. But the point is, when you come to have a lot of cases on your hands and you have limited resources, then you are not able to deal with it. Then therefore, that is where the death issues kick in.
Yeah.
And people all over watching it in this direction will therefore become scared. That with our limited resources, how would we be able to manage the situation when it gets out of our hands? And perhaps then the issue of lockdown. But even if it is to be locked down, we can look at it from certain angles, maybe Accra, Kumasi, or Boase, that are now hit. We begin to look at it, localize the lockdown system, so we can manage it in that. If we manage it, the numbers decreasing, then there's nothing like a total lockdown or shutdown. And now finally, I beg you, if those managing the motorway toll booths or across the country, I think we need to be innovative and fast. In this sense, if they can now move and if you want to buy the electronic stuff, you need to go all the way at Ghana Highway Authority or top. This is a situation where they should come down to the point. People might even be wanting to do the electronic stuff so that we avoid this.
That's I agree with you. Let's start innovating. Happy birthday to Susan Nelson, DVLA in Koforidia. Susan Nelson. Tomorrow is your birthday. And happy quarantine to my wife, all quarantined somewhere, chilling. Very soon you'll be home. But folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Elton Broby is here to give you the news bulletin. Don't you even touch that dial.